Well, hello everybody. Welcome to YW News. Welcome to this live. India has today got its first ever tribal president of the country as well as the second woman president of the country. Yes, that's right. Droupadi Murmu, the NDA candidate in the presidential polls, has won the presidential election. Presidential election 2022 has been won by Droupadi Murmu already. Well, the counting is still going on. There were 3 rounds of counting that happened today and the counting is still going on, but at the end of 3 rounds of counting of the votes, it has been declared that Droupadi Murmu has already crossed the halfway mark that was required, mark and half number of votes that were required to win this election, and that is why Droupadi Murmu, with this, she becomes the President of India, first tribal President of India, first president that comes from this tribal community in Odisha, Santhal tribal community, and second woman president of India, that is Droupadi Murmu for you. Now let me tell you some of the numbers that we got to know about in the counting of the votes, and very interestingly, we all know that there were 2 candidates in this presidential election. One is NDA's Droupadi Murmu and second was Yashwant Sinha by the joint opposition. Now already, even before the election started, 44 parties in NDA and also not with NDA, those parties who are sitting on the fence, had already declared their support for Droupadi Murmu. In fact, one opposition party, Shiv Sena, had also declared their support for Droupadi Murmu. On the other hand, Yashwant Sinha was pledged to get support from 34 political parties across the country. Interestingly, on the day of the election, 99% of the MPs and MLAs who were eligible to vote, Rajya Sabha MPs, Lok Sabha MPs as well as the MLAs in the state assembly, nominated Rajya Sabha members are not eligible to vote. So apart from that, whoever was eligible to vote, out of that only 99% of them voted in this election. Now today it was declared that after first round of counting of votes, in which only the votes from MPs were counted, total votes were 748. The values of the vote were 5,23,600. Now, as I had told you in the previous video as well, the number of votes and the value of votes differ. For MPs, it is different value. Each MP has a fixed value to his vote, 700 to be precise, and that is dependent upon several other factors, including the population of the state he comes from. On the other hand, the value of MLA's vote also depends on several other factors, as I said, including the population of the state and the number of members in the state assembly. UP has the highest, UP MLAs have the highest value to their vote, whereas Sikkim MLAs have the lowest value to their vote. So it becomes very important for the candidates to get support from as many MPs, as many MLAs as possible. In this particular scenario, we are seeing that Droupadi Murmu has got 69% of the votes in her support. That is what the result is after 3 rounds of voting. As I was talking to you about the first round, in first round 748 votes were counted. Out of it, Droupadi Murmu got 540 votes, whereas Yashwant Sinha got 208 votes in his support. If we talk about the value, then total value after the first round of counting was 5,23,600, out of which Droupadi Murmu got 3,78,000 vote value in her favor, whereas Yashwant Sinha got 208 votes in his favor, the value of which is 1,45,600, and total 15 votes were declared invalid. After the second round of voting, in which ballot papers from first 10 states were counted, alphabetically calculated. So from the 10 states, 1 to 10 states were counted alphabetically categorized. Total valid votes were 1,138, and the value of which was 1,49,575. Droupadi Murmu got 809 votes, the value of which was 1,05,299, and Yashwant Sinha got 329 votes, the value of which was 44,276. After the third round, again, in this particular round, in third round, total 20 states MLA's votes were counted, in which total votes were counted was 1,335. The value of these votes were 1,65,664. Droupadi Murmu got 812 votes in her support, and Yashwant Sinha got 521 votes. Now, if we calculate all these three rounds of counting, then in total, we can see the total votes are 3,219 and the total vote value comes down to 8,38,839. Droupadi Murmu has got 2,161 votes in her support, and that gives us the vote value of 5,77,777. So this is the magic figure from which Droupadi Murmu has been declared the winner. 5,77,777 votes in her favor after 3 rounds of voting. On the other hand, Yashwant Sinha is distant second with 1,058 votes in his favor, and the value of which comes to 2,61,062. As I said, the halfway mark to win the presidential election is 5,43,261. So Droupadi Murmu, after 3 rounds of counting, has comfortably won the presidential election. She had already maintained lead in the first and second round. In the third round also, she maintained the lead, and now she has been declared winner, although the counting is still going on. So the final figure we will get to know in some time, but she has already won the election and has become the next president of India. Meanwhile, let me tell you that BJP has claimed 17 opposition MPs have cross-voted in their favor, as well as 104 MLAs from different states also voted in favor of Droupadi Murmu. According to the figures that were given by PC Modi, the Secretary General, 22 MPs from Assam, 22 MLAs from Assam, 6 MLAs from Chhattisgarh, 10 from Jharkhand, 19 from Madhya Pradesh, 16 from Maharashtra and 10 from Gujarat cross-voted in this election and made Droupadi Murmu victorious. So these are what the figures say. On the other hand, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, JP Nadda, the BJP chief, as well as senior leaders of BJP, including Home Minister Amit Shah, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh, Piyush Goyal, Parliamentary Affairs Minister Prahlad Joshi, they are set to meet Droupadi Murmu at her residence in Delhi. Already celebrations are going on at her Delhi residence, at BJP headquarters in different parts of the country, in Delhi as well as in Odisha, from where she hails. Droupadi Murmu has had quite a rise in BJP. She had played a key role throughout her career in politics. She has been associated with the BJP. She was governor of Jharkhand before she was nominated for the post of presidential candidate, and before that she had held several posts in the party in the organization of the BJP. Droupadi Murmu was in fact also the name that was doing rounds during 2017 presidential election, but that time it was President Ramnath Kovind who got the chance from the NDA side, but now it is Droupadi Murmu and she has comfortably won this election, won this presidential election. On the other hand, farewell dinner has also been organized by Prime Minister Narendra Modi tomorrow at 5:30 PM for the outgoing President Ramnath Kovind, and this will be held at Hotel Ashoka in Delhi. On the other hand, the opposition seems to be quite in a disarray. There are cracks to be seen in the opposition camp. Opposition, which had given a joint opposition candidate during the presidential election, it seems like the opposition cannot unite on the choice of the vice presidential election. For the vice presidential election, opposition had proposed the nomination, and in fact she had already filed her nomination. Margaret Alva is the name of the vice presidential candidate from the opposition side. However, Mamata Banerjee has said that there was no discussion held with the TMC, and that is why TMC will not participate in the vice presidential poll. So this is what is the update as far as the vice presidential election is concerned and the opposition is concerned. Meanwhile, Yashwant Sinha has already accepted his defeat. He also tweeted about this and congratulated Droupadi Murmu for becoming the next president of India. He wrote a letter to her, and I would like to read some part of it. He said, that despite the outcome of the election, I believe it has benefited Indian democracy in two important ways. First, it brought most opposition parties on a common platform. This is indeed the need of the hour, and I earnestly appeal to them to continue, indeed further strengthen opposition unity beyond the presidential election. It must be equally evident in the election of the vice president. Second, in the course of my election campaign, I tried to highlight the views, concerns and commitments of the opposition parties on major issues before the nation and the common people. Well, he also said that he has performed his duty conscientiously out of his love for his country. The issues he had raised during his campaign remain pertinent. This is what he says. On the other hand, for Droupadi Murmu, he writes that he is congratulating her victory in the presidential election. I hope indeed, every India hopes that as the 15th President of India, she functions as the custodian of the Constitution without fear or favor. I join my fellow countrymen in extending best wishes to her. In the run-up to the presidential elections, there were some comments from the opposition leaders saying that Droupadi Murmu will only be a rubber stamp, a statue. That is what Tejasvi Yadav had said. So targeting it, hinting at it, Yashwant Sinha in his congratulatory letter to Droupadi Murmu has said that he wishes that she will function as the custodian of the Constitution. As I had explained in my previous video as well, the President of India is one of the powerful posts. Although there is no direct control over the government, but still the President of India has some executive functions, as well as he has the post of President. The President of India also has some legislative functions. No bill that are passed by the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha can be made into act unless the President has assent over it. So as I said, Droupadi Murmu has emerged victorious. Celebrations are going on. We also congratulate Droupadi Murmu for her victory in the presidential election. Do let us know what you think about this in the comment box below. For more news and updates, you can log on to www.hwnews.in.